Joining me now is Robert Hoffmann, who rose to fame in the 60s with his title role in the television series The Adventures of Robinson Crusoe. Now, 15 years since its last showing, fans are getting another chance to see the series on video.
Oh, this canoe is too heavy. I'll never be able to get it to the water. In my despair, I'd be capable of splitting my head open with my axe. Fortunately, Dick is here to comfort me. I'm not only overcome by despair and solitude, which weigh more heavily than ever. What's more unbearable to me at this moment is to give up the idea of leaving.
Welcome, Robert. That does look very idyllic. Were you surprised when they found you and said, we're going to bring this revival on video? Were you surprised?
I was very surprised and very pleased, because it's 35 years ago that we shot that on the Canary Islands. And I'm very happy with it.
What about the casting? Because I know it was you told me earlier it was your first acting role as such, fresh out of acting school in Paris.
It was, and my agent called me and said, well, go to see Mr. Deutschmeister, Franco-London film, Champs-Élysées. It's a kind of an Indian picture, I don't know what you should do with it. And I went there and walked into the office, and Deutschmeister said, you.
My goodness. And what were the requirements? Were there any specific, did he ask you any specific questions?
No, well, necessary was if I could swim, of course, because it's always...
You're going to be marooned on this island for long enough?
He asked me if I can ride, and I could. He asked me if I can fence.
So you had to be, I mean, you had to be quite fit and looking very lean.
Oh, yes, we went a little bit to a... that's the only time in my life I went to a gym before. I was obliged by the producer to make it a little...
Yeah. And presumably you didn't have any problems keeping thin while you were shooting?
No, there was nothing to eat. We had rice, melocoton, or fried bananas, and an egg sunny side up. That was it for 3 or 4 months. Very healthy life.
Were you a fan of Daniel Defoe's book before you made the series?
Yes. It's I think every child's had
a classic.
It's a classic, and I got, for the beginning, a very old book from 1812, which was the first edition in France, which was illustrated, I think. I still have it at home in Salzburg, and it's very nice. Now,
obviously that was the days of black and white. Was it a large production? Were there many people with you? Because you mentioned already it was in the Canaries.
No, not at all. We had no technical staff. We were only 11 or 12 people all together. There was a very little crew. We had no...
Was it a French crew?
It was a French crew, and Quinto Albicoco, who made the camera, was a genius in black and white photography. And we only worked with the reflex of sun,
Sun reflectors, that was your light?
Reflexes, that was it. That was the light.
And did that mean
no traveling, no dolly, no nothing, no machinery.
Did that mean that you had to sort of help each other out a bit?
Yes, of course. Everybody did any job, and in fact, all the others played a role in.
Oh, really? They took turns. That's amazing. Have you returned? Because I mean, I should imagine that in 35 years, the Canaries have changed quite a bit.
Yes, I did return about 15 years ago, and I was desperate. It was all a concrete
jungle,
and this beautiful beach that was completely without a human step on it.
Deserted.
It was absolutely deserted, and now it's a town. It's called Playa del Inglés, and you have it's
But then it must be.
ruined.
I mean, you at one point in your life, I don't know if it was for the purpose of doing the show, but you actually did go off to an island, didn't you? Was it?
Yes. I tried once more. And I went to the Dominican Republic, and
to live as a
Robinson, with nothing, with a hammock, with a fly sheet on top of us against the rain, and pots and pans, and
it's getting harder and harder to do that, isn't it?
Yeah, it's getting harder and harder. And we had a beautiful beach, which was 45 kilometers long, in the near Las Terrenas, and there was nothing. And we lived there for 4 or 5 months, just fishing and sparing fish, shooting fish, and collecting fruits, mangoes, papayas, rice, coffee, Everything grows there, and oranges.
The only companion you really need is a dog like you have.
That I didn't have.
But tell me, you know, I know the story is that it's been very difficult to find all the prints to reissue the series. It was a 13-part series, wasn't it?
I had Tim Beddoes found in the film archive the last copy which exists.
And it had been left there, marooned.
Yeah, for 15 years.
Incredible. What about a different part for you that you had in the series Dallas? Must have been quite a contrast from emptiness to
yes, it was a contrast.
Totally over the top.
I played, let's say, a chemical oil-producing tycoon of the German industry, in opposition, natural to the Larry Hagman and Patrick Duffy. In
television terms, is it something that you think has changed enormously, because the money that is thrown at these productions nowadays is enormous compared to what you had for the making of Robinson Crusoe, and yet it hasn't dated. It's still a fantastic production.
Yeah, I think it's of course too because they have to do 7, 8, 9, 10 minutes a day. You know. And
how many episodes were you doing in a concentrated?
We had 6 hours altogether, and it was cut in different versions, 4 episodes or 6 episodes or 13 episodes. You know?
That's great. And I know you're still acting, and you're going to be in another television series in Germany very soon.
Yes.
So good luck, and I hope the video goes very well for you.
I hope so too.
Thank you for joining us on VIP.